Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm really excited to be here today. Hope you are too. And just a little bit of a background about today's routine. Today's routine is going to be designed for anyone of any level of mobility, flexibility, and it's going to work, pretty much everything from our head to our toe. And we're going to really be looking at a comprehensive routine that is going to be about 30 minutes long. And so join me today, wherever you are in the world. I'm looking forward today, so let's dive in. So we'll have everyone sitting just like I am on our butts, and we're gonna just be tuning into our breath a little bit here. Nice tall posture, shoulders back, and nice and tall. And let's just tune into our breath here, breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth. And we're just gonna do some nice deep breaths here. Okay, nice and tall, core is going to be engaged. It should be rising with your breath. So now what I want you to do is we're going to start with some neck exercises, okay? So we're going to start here, back and forth to the right, to the left, nice and slow. Back and forth. Okay, a couple more. Usually we hold our stress in our neck, so this oftentimes feels really, really nice. Okay, come back to center. Now let's do the upper half. Left and right. Make sure we're focusing on our breath. Feel any tightness there. Nice and slow on your pace. Good. Okay, come back to center. Okay, always making sure that we're nice and tall, shoulders are back, core is engaged. Okay, we're working on that nice straight spine. Let's just put our right hand to the side here. We're going to lightly place our hand on top of our head, and we're just going to stretch out this neck and our arm. Okay, so for about 30 seconds, making sure our posture is nice and tall. Make sure we're also focusing on our breath, nice and deep. In through our nose, out through our mouth. Okay, and lightly release your hand. Awesome. Okay, now let's take the left hand. Same thing on the other side. Lightly place your hand on your head. Nice tall posture, shoulders back. Here for about 30 seconds. Okay, we'll take that hand off your head, come back to center. And what we're going to do now is we're going to stay on our butts. We're going to bring our legs out to about shoulder width apart, a little bit wider if you're using a mat. Okay, your toes are going to be at the front of your mat. And we're just going to do some hip openers, okay? These are called hip swivels. This is going to really, really get our hips. So what I want you to do is nice and slow, back and forth here. Try to touch that knee to the ground. Just back and forth, hands are behind you. Nice tall posture still. Elbows are slightly bent. Nice and slow. This is not for speed. We're trying to be more flexible and mobile in our hips. Back and forth. Awesome job so far, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so now coming to the right side, what we're going to do is we're going to isolate this left leg. And so what I want you to do is try to engage your glute and lift up. I'm just going to do about 10 on the left side. Really just try to isolate that glute and come on up, get some mobility in this hip flexor. It's really hard to get at first, but try to connect your mind to that muscle group here in the glute. Okay, come on back over onto the left side, same thing. Legs are at a 90-degree angle. We'll try to isolate this glute here. Let's try for 10. Good, come back up to center. Okay, now that we're here, we're gonna lie back, legs stay shoulder width apart. Now you're gonna take that left leg, bring it over top of that left leg. And now I want you to take this right leg and just slowly drip it over, hands at the sides. Okay, nice and slow, keeping those hips towards the ceiling squared, nice and slow. And we're just gonna sit here for a couple moments. Okay, you're gonna feel that stretch all along the side of your body. On the left side, if you're putting your legs to the right, and just really, really feel that pose. Make sure we're focusing on our breath. Neck is relaxed. Here for 30. Oftentimes, if we're sitting at the desk all day studying, or maybe we have an office job, these muscles tend to get really, really tight. Okay, I want you to come back up and release. Okay, now we're gonna put our left leg onto our right knee, and same thing on the opposite side. Nice and slow on the way down, arms are bracing you on the sides, neck is relaxed, and we're dialing into our breath. We're here for 30. Okay, come back up to center. Awesome job, release that leg. What I want you to do now is, I want you to give yourself a nice big hug, bring your knees to your chest, and rock back and forth. Okay, rock back and forth. Come on up to here. Okay, now that we're here, what we're gonna do is, we're actually going to, we're gonna bring our legs back down, and we're gonna roll on up into this position. Okay, so kind of like a squat. We're at the lower half here, and this is going to be called a squat to pike. Okay, and so walk those feet out to about shoulder width apart. And now what I want you to do is we're going to do about 15 of these. We're going to actually try to keep our hands on the mat, and we're going to bend those legs straight up and sit back down into those heels. We're trying to keep those heels on the ground. If my heels are not off the ground, I need to work on my mobility and flexibility. That's why we're doing this today. That's okay, but we want to try to get those heels on the ground. So again, push through those palms, try to extend those legs as high as you can go, and then come back down without overstretching, okay? Up and down. Always keeping your shoulders back, nice tall posture, core engaged. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. A couple more here. You need to walk those feet out by all means. The more that you do this, you're going to notice that you're going to actually increase your range of motion right away. Okay, awesome job. Come down to tabletop. Okay, so in tabletop, your hands are going to be facing the front of the mat. And all we're going to do right now, ladies and gentlemen, is just do a couple cat-cows. So what's going to happen, you're going to place your hands and knees. Your wrists are going to be directly underneath your shoulders. Your knees are going to be directly underneath your hips. And what we're going to do, we're going to push through our palms. Come on up. Push through our palms. and come back down. Okay, so I'll face this way. So come on up, come on down. Inhale on the way up, exhale on the way down. Push really through that upper back and down. Let's continue here. A couple more. Last one. Awesome job. Release your feet. Okay, so release those feet like this. We're actually going to walk our knees out to the edge of the mat if you're on a mat. Okay, so my knees are like this, and I want us to get down into this child's pose. Okay, so you're going to walk your hands out, sitting back in those heels. Your forehead tries to touch the mat. And we're just going to work on some deep breaths in this pose here. Okay? Walk those hands out if you can, continuing to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Nice deep breaths, belly breaths, okay? Walk those hands out a little bit farther towards the edge of your mat, by all means. Go for it. Now what I want you to do is I want you to walk your hands over to the left side, keeping your hips squared towards the edge of the mat, just making sure that our upper back is moving towards the side, not our hips. We're just going to sit here, probably going to feel a nice stretch along the side of your lats here, breathing into this pose. A couple nice deep breaths here as well. Walk a little bit farther if you can. Awesome job. Come back to center, just edging your way forward, just nudging inch by inch. Now that we're here, we're going to take our hands to the right side and do the opposite side. Make sure we're focusing on our nice deep breaths. You can go a little bit more deeper into the pose, by all means. Walk your hands out a little bit farther. Walk your hands out closer to the end of the mat. Continuing to breathe here. Awesome job. Walk your hands back out into this front of the mat. Come back up onto tabletop. So what we're going to do now, we're actually going to start our first downward dog, okay? So I want you to tuck your feet back in. So this is untuck, tuck those feet. We're going to press up through our heels, okay? So make sure our wrists are aligned underneath our shoulders. And we're actually going to keep our wrists, we're going to push through and come into downward dog. Okay, so we're going to hold this here for about a minute. Okay, just stretching up through our back. Try to push your head through your shoulders. Okay, this is a great hamstring stretch, lower back stretch, shoulder stretch. You can even try to walk your heels out a little bit, okay? Walk those heels out left and right, just making sure we're trying to push that head through our shoulders. Awesome job. Make sure we're breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth. We got 20 seconds left. Make sure our fingers are nice and wide on that mat. We're pushing through our palms. Now what I want you to do is I want you to tuck in your knee. Bring that knee towards the front of your hands. Nice tall position, shoulders back, spine engaged, core engaged. We're nice and tall. We're going to stand here for about 30 seconds. Breathing in through our nose, up through our mouth. Okay, what happens is our body tends to want to roll onto the side here. I want you to keep your hips nice and stable, nice and straight towards the front of the mat. Make sure our palms are nice. We're here in this tall position, shoulders are back, core is engaged. Make sure we're breathing in through our nose, out through our mouth. Okay, now I want you to try to take your elbows to the mat. Okay, just like this, sitting back into that heel right here. You know, oftentimes we want to try to bring this foot to the edge of our elbow, but if we're not there, that's fine. Just let it sit where it wants to sit. Okay, a couple more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, untuck that back foot. Come on up to this, I guess, you know, straight arms. Push through, back into downward dog. Okay, a couple breaths here. Same thing. We are going to now bring our left leg to the front of our hands. Untuck that back foot. Push through those palms nice and tall, shoulders back. We're here for 30. Make sure we're just focusing on our breath as well. In through our nose, out through our mouth. Awesome job so far. Good job, Sam. Okay, let's go on to our forearms. Still focusing on our breath, okay? Like I've said before, your body wants to roll on over to that hip that's facing up. Try to keep those hips aligned with the front of your mat. Breathe right into that area that's being stretched, okay? Really focus your mind on that area. Okay, come back up to elbows are locked. We're pushing back into our downward dog. Okay, walk those feet out. Okay, so now we're going to go into this high plank. So we're going to be in this high plank, and we're actually going to focus on the way down 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Stay down here. Untuck those back feet. Okay. You can walk your hands out a little bit to the front of your mat. Now, keeping your hips on the ground, I want you to push through those palms. Okay, keeping those hips on the ground. We're going to do about 15 reps here. Okay, find that comfortable area. Could be at your chest height or above. Mine is about a little bit wider than shoulders. Push on up, keeping those hips out. And if you can't lock your elbows out, that's okay. We're just going to increase some of that range of motion and flexibility and mobility in that lower back. Good, making sure those hips are on the mat or on the ground at all times. A couple more reps here, ladies and gentlemen. I will switch my body so you can see what I am implying. There's no space here between my hips and the ground. Okay, last rep here. Last rep. Okay. So now I want you to come on up, sit back into that child's pose. Okay, awesome job so far. Sit here for a moment. Okay, awesome. So we're going to actually now take a step up as such. So I am actually going to come in, move my camera up so you can see me. So one moment. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're in this position. My knee is underneath my shoulder. So I want us to take this hand up as such. If you have a sore knee, that's okay. I want you to roll over your mat. So here, and I want you to work on reaching over. Okay, we're gonna do a rep of 10. Open up that hip, that side. Good job. Couple more. Good. Opposite arm, opposite leg now. Same leg, opposite arm. Okay, so we're here. Just getting that opposite side. Keeping our core engaged. Might feel a bit off balance, that's okay. Okay, let's switch legs. Tuck in that mat, shoulder, hip is underneath your shoulder. Reach that arm up, so arm up the leg. Let's breathe into this side here. Awesome. Okay, so this next one, you may need something to put your leg on. That's okay. What I want you to do is we're still in this position. Okay, we're still in this position. I want you to grab that back leg as such. We're going to get a really, really good quad stretch here, okay? We should just be breathing into this position. In through our nose, out through our mouth. If you need it, you can use the side of a couch or a chair and adjust the depth accordingly. This is really, really good if you have sore knees, patella tendonitis. Make sure we're breathing, shoulders back. Lightly release that leg. Okay, I want you to sit back onto those heels if you can. We're going to do that on the right side now. Okay. Sometimes you can hold a broomstick or something in front of you. Make sure that our hips are aligned forward. Great job, Sam. Good job, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome. Release that leg. Come back to the front of your mat. Okay, so this next one, what we're going to do is we're going to do the Spider-Man stretch. So we're actually going to step up here. We're going to bring that back leg off the ground, and we're going to do 5 of these. So we're going to go inside our knee, hands come back down, outside. Just do 5 on this left leg, and then we're going to switch. Make sure this front foot stays aligned and it's not going left and right. Okay? 2 more. Awesome. Okay, release that back leg. Let's come on up to the right leg. Okay, knees off the ground. You're probably going to notice that one side is a little bit tighter than the other, and that's okay. Two more. Last one. Awesome. Okay, let's just check the time here. Let's grab a drink of water. Okay, so now what I want you to do, we're going to lay on our back, and what we're going to do is now just focus in on our breath. Okay, really, really important that we're always staying in tune. Oftentimes, you know, the days are stressful, we get a little bit anxious, and we're going to do some breath work. And so our breath work is going to consist of 4 seconds on the way up, hold for 2 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, hold for 2 seconds. The key caveat here is that we're not going to be using our mouth, but just our nose. So we're going to be incorporating just some nasal breaths. Okay, so let's lay on our back. Okay, just laying down, relaxing our legs, palms are on the mat beside us. Okay, you can close your eyes. We're really just going to cool down now. So, breathing in through our nose. Hold for 2. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. Inhale for 4. Hold for 2. Exhale for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. Just using your nose, no mouth. Tuning into that breath, making sure we're getting lots of air in our stomach. We should feel our stomach rising. Everything should be relaxed. Four seconds on the way up, hold for 2. 4 seconds. On the exhale, hold for 2. Awesome. Okay, you can slowly make your way on up. Come onto this position here, focusing back on our spine, shoulders back. And I just wanted to say, today's session is finished. I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining me today on this Saturday morning. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to our next time that we get to meet and to be able to engage in some physical activity.